Hi, good afternoon. These notes are on ratios and unit rates, and this should be on page 78 in your notebook. So if we go ahead and start at the top, a ratio is a comparison of two quantities using the same units, and the way that you represent it is with fractions. There are three different ways to write it. You can write it as a fraction, using the word to, or using a colon. And colon is just those two little dots that you use to make a list in ELA. To simplify, you do need to simplify, but you should not write the fraction as a mixed number. And then you also should keep the denominator. So we're going to look at some statistics right here. There are 20 NC State fans, 8 UNC fans, 4 Duke fans in math class. Find the ratio of the students. So NC State is 20 compared to UNC is 8. And so it's a 20 to 8 ratio. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and simplify that. So 20 to 8 can be reduced to 5 to 2. And then another way to write that is 5 to 2, and then 5, using the word to, 2. So these are the three different ways that you can write the answer of NC State fans compared to UNC fans. And make sure that whichever one is listed first in the sentence, that's the one that you list first in your ratio. All right, number 2, Duke fans to NC State fans. So there are 4 Duke fans. There are 20 NC State fans. If you reduce 4 to 20, you get a 1 to 5 ratio. Again, another way to write that is 1 to 5. And then another way to write it is to use the word to, 5. So for every 1 Duke fan, there's 5 NC State fans. And then number 3, UNC fans to Duke fans. So there are 8 UNC fans to 4 Duke fans. That can be reduced to a 2 to 1. The fraction is a 2 to 1. Again, leave this as 2 to 1. Don't just write 2 because you need to show both your numerator and your denominator value. And then use the word to. Now, for the rest of the notes, I'm probably going to mostly use the colon, but you're more than welcome to use all 3 of these if you'd like. All right. Another example, there are 5 students who have an iPad and 15 who have an iPhone. Write the ratios of students. So who has an iPhone, right here, 15, versus who has an iPad, 5. So 15 to 5 ratio, which can be reduced to 3 to 1. Who has an iPad to an iPhone? So now we're just reversing the order. And again, remember the order does matter in which they say it. So 5 to 15, which then gives me a 1 to 3 ratio. And then the last one, who has an iPad to the whole class? So iPad was 5. Now the whole class, if there's 5 here and 15 here, that means that there's 20 total. And 5 to 20 would give me a 1 to 4 ratio. So sometimes the information that they ask for is not given. You actually have to find it. All right, so those are just ratios comparing 2 of the same units to another. Now we're going to look at rates. Rates are a ratio with 2 quantities where you're comparing different units. So for example, I drove 350 miles on 70 gallons of gas. So 350 miles is 1 unit over 70 gallons of gas is the second unit. And then you're done. That's how you can show that rate. Now, if we wanted to simplify this, that would be finding the unit rate. But for right now, we're just going to leave that one alone. All right, 9 inches of snow fell in 12 hours. So 9 inches, 12 hours. And here's how, with these, you decide which one, because it's the one that's given first should go in the numerator, but sometimes they don't write it the correct way with rates. So what you do is your dependent goes on top, your independent goes on bottom. Okay, so dependent is the top value and your independent is your bottom value. So I just want to be aware that sometimes in math sentences, they might not give it to you in the right order for rates. They do with ratios, but sometimes with rates, they'll mix them up for you. There are 486 graders for 14 teachers. So 486 sixth graders or students for every 14 teachers. And then if we reduce those would actually give us our unit rate. So a unit rate is when these guys are simplified so that it has a denominator of 1. So let's go up here and let's actually go ahead and simplify this. So 350 over 70 can be reduced to 5 miles per gallon. So that would be the unit rate for this scenario. 9 inches for every 12 hours. You're going to want to make the denominator 12, so we have to divide by 12 for both the numerator and denominator. So that would actually make this 0.75 over 1. And I'll show you what I did there. So 0.75 out of 1 hour. So the snowfall is about 3/4 inch for every hour. So this would be called your unit rate. This is just a rate. This is a unit rate. This is a little bit more special. And then here, 486 students for 14 teachers. So 486 divided by 14. And we get, did I do that right? 486 for 14. So you get about 34.7 students. Well, we're going to go ahead and make that, we'll just say 35. So we're round to a nice whole number. So 35 students per 1 teacher. Okay. So those are finding unit rates. So let's go down here and let's find the unit rates for these scenarios. So a Japanese bullet train travels 558 miles in 3 hours. How far does it travel in 1 hour? So we're going to set it up. So 558 is our dependent. Our 3 hours is our independent. So this is our miles. This is our hours. And then we want to make the denominator a 1. So what we can do is just put divide by 3, and then that will give us our denominator of 1 hour. So 558 divided by 3 gives us 186 miles. So this train travels at 186 miles for every hour that it goes, which is a pretty fast train. All right, so which store offers the better deal? Harris Teeter has a 12-pound turkey for $39.99, and Publix has a 10-pound turkey for $33.50. So we're going to set up both scenarios. So Harris Teeter, we'll put right here. It's $39.99 for 12 pounds. And Publix is 10 pounds for $33.50 for 10 pounds. So then we're going to just divide. So $39.99 divided by 12 gives me $3.33 for 1 pound. And then Publix is $33.50 divided by 10, and that gives me $3.35 per pound. So which one's cheaper? Well, Harris Teeter's $3.33, and Publix is $3.35. So Harris Teeter is going to be your better deal. All right, and so what you're going to do is you're going to go over to the right side and read the questions and answer them. So go ahead and pause your video right now, and then I will show you the answer key in just a moment. All right, here is the answer key. So if you have any questions or you're not sure how I got an answer, just comment at the bottom of the video or bring the question tomorrow in class. And then here's the rest of the video, or the rest of the notes. All right, if you don't have any questions, then I will see you tomorrow in class. I hope you have a great afternoon.